Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So we've got a few things to talk about. We have some here and now things that will affect here and now, but also have reverberating effects going forward. So we've got Binance. Binance isn't cutting Litecoin. Yesterday it was noted that I noted that Binance was going to cut Litecoin or support for Litecoin. What they decided to do at the end of the day was, oh, we won't cut Litecoin. We just won't transact any of their Mimblewimble transactions, their privacy transactions. So, there's something. We'll get into that just a little bit more. Tron, yeah, their USDD lost the peg. This is day two. Looks like, smells like. The SEC is investigating crypto exchanges, citing their lack of safeguards with regard to insider trading. And I reported I want to say a month or two ago about allegations against Coinbase for what seemed to be insider trading. And it seemed to be an ongoing thing about insider trading. I think as recently as 2 weeks ago, perhaps. So that's a big deal. And that's in addition to the SEC already investigating exchanges and their listing of, the coins from Terraforma Labs and Luna Foundation Guard transactions. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says, listen, it's going to get worse before it gets better, right? You're going to see some coins drop. That's a good thing. I think, the same, right? You're going to see things, tighten up a bit and then, before it goes. And we'll get into that because that kind of feeds into what I'm thinking with regard to how much pent-up energy there is. Coinbase, I literally moved 99% of my digital assets that I was holding in Coinbase off of Coinbase. Moved more last night. They're cutting 18% of their workforce, or about 1,000 people, a little less than 1,000 people. We'll dig into that because that's really bothering me. But Binance and Litecoin, not really much to unpack there. They're just saying, listen, we're a centralized exchange. And because we're a centralized exchange, we get a lot of scrutiny. We've already got a lot of scrutiny because of a number of shenanigans that have gone on. So yeah, we're not going to do your Mimblewimble thing. I said yesterday that, Litecoin being cut off by the 5 exchanges in South Korea, exchanges like GoPax, there are only 5 licensed exchanges in South Korea. And then Binance making its announcements. I kind of sat there and I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about Litecoin until centralized exchanges start doing the same thing. And I seriously doubt that's going to happen. And not to mention, Litecoin is fast and cheap. Anyway, Tron. I told you a while ago. I started telling you a while ago. I'm not touching Tron. Wasn't involved. Anything that they touch, I'm not going to touch. Right? And why is that? Just have zero confidence in that team. That's just how I feel about it. That's what my research showed me, so that's why I'm just kind of hands off with it. You want to do something with it, go ahead. But their USDD lost the peg to the US dollar, and that's kind of a big deal. Okay? Looks like, smells like, could be a similar situation to Terra. I mean, listen, if you don't have enough assets, real assets to back your so-called stablecoin, yeah, I'm not going to mess with you. Nope. Not me. Nope. Nah. Not even gonna think about it. So my research says that, listen, I told you before, I'm kind of into, doing research on different things, but stablecoins is just not my thing. I'm not parking my money in stablecoins. That's just not what I'm gonna do. I'll park my money in fiat. Maybe I'll park my money in, a crypto that I like. But most likely I'm going to have it in cash. And the reason why is because I do different kinds of investments, not just crypto. So I'm not dumping everything into crypto and moving, just because it could be favorable to me tax-wise. Listen, if I have to pay a lot of taxes, you know what? That means I made a lot of money. It's as simple as that to me. I mean, could I do more to kind of shelter myself? Yeah, but I could run into problems like this. You know, because if you sell one crypto but you move into another crypto, it kind of helps you with taxes. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm not going through all that. If I'm gonna take a win, I'm gonna take a win. If I'm gonna take a loss, I'm gonna take a loss. It's as simple as that. I try to keep it simple, stupid. Not calling you stupid. Sorry, it's just a phrase that actually comes from advertising. Keep it simple, stupid, or KISS. So that's how I feel about it. The SEC investigating exchanges. When are they not investigating exchanges, right? But insider trading, I mean, we had something happen a couple of weeks ago with regard to insider trading or the possibility of insider trading over at Coinbase. And then a couple of months before that, we had something that could have been seen as insider trading before that. Remember the list of, I think it was like 5 coins or something like that, that was, that somebody purchased like the day before that, those coins were listed on Coinbase. Yeek. So yeah, I can understand why the SEC has decided, yeah, we're gonna kind of inquire about your insider trading safeguards, because that's one of their issues is you guys don't have any safeguards about that. I do stop to think about about those insider trading moves and everything else. Are there insider trading laws that are in force on regular exchanges and other companies? Yes. And I know people that have been, called to court over it. Like, I know them directly, right? So yeah, it's a real thing. And there should be safeguards. If you're going to be a centralized exchange, right, then you should have those safeguards. Okay. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. I don't know why. I just like this guy. I just really do. And we kind of agree on the same thing. Listen, it's gonna get worse. You're gonna see more market contraction, which for me, I'm sitting back and I'm going, yes, please. How many bogus coins, meme coins, dumb coins are out there? They're not real projects. They're not real projects. Yes, get them the hell out of here. 2, the coins where they're just not strong enough to survive. They could be great ideas, but they're just not strong enough to survive. Okay, sorry, you're going to go too at some point. I'm not wishing it upon you. I mean, I hope that you would get stronger and have your projects become a success. But there's going to come a point where, the weak projects or the projects that just don't have enough gusto to make it over the hurdle, they're going to have to make way for the ones that do. It just is the way it is. It doesn't mean the ones that make it are the best ones, right? It just means that they're the ones that are going to survive. Okay, just like the .com era, right? So Amazon made it. A few companies made it. Pet.com didn't, but Chewy took over. So Pet.com was a little before its time, right? It's something like that. So that's what I'm looking at is, what are those reverberations going forward? And the SEC doing something, Tron losing its peg, Binance saying no to Mimblewimble. Yeah, those are things that point to me that are going to have long-term effects that are most likely going to be good. So I'm all right with that. Back to a sore point for me, Coinbase. Yeah, I have a problem with Coinbase. If you have the ability, first of all, if you have a CEO that totally trashes, certain sentiment within the organization, if employees feel that they should be putting in an anonymous petition, you might want to listen to that, because that small percentage represents a larger percentage of your firm, almost guaranteed, right? And you trashed it. And now you're laying off almost 1,000 people, or 18% of your workforce. Wow. You had that number of people on, within your workforce that you could shave that quickly. Okay. To me, that's mismanagement. That's mismanagement. Your chief people officer should have been the first one raising their hand talking about, hey, we shouldn't be doing that. Emily Choi, COO, yeah, she was one of the people that, the petition said, yeah, we should ditch that person. We should ditch that person, the chief product officer, and the chief people officer. Gee, I wonder why. And now here you are laying off a whole bunch of people. Wouldn't it be funny if another exchange like FTX or Ripple, Ripple's not an exchange, but imagine if one of those companies snatched up, bulks of those people, because those skills are being sought after in major ways. JP Morgan's, Onyx Digital, Onyx Digital Assets, maybe they're hiring. I hope all of those people find fruitful jobs someplace else where they're appreciated, where their voices can be heard. It's not to say that, employees should rule the business unless that's the business's, charter, or that's their mantra. Cool. I get it. But like I said, if you have the ability to cut, 1,000 people, then maybe you shouldn't have had those extra 1,000 people to begin with, right? You grew too fast, just a little bit. And, I'm just wondering, like, how fast can you grow, considering you tried to buy 2 exchanges back in March and you failed at both of them. But you wound up investing millions into ZipMex. I don't know. I just look at Coinbase and I just go, yeah, I'm not satisfied with your moves. If I was, I'm glad I'm not an investor. Look at their stock. I would rather them say, hey, we got ahead of our skis. We didn't do this right. Own it. I'd rather you own it than say, well, it's because there's a recession coming and the internal sentiment of our staff, is really stupid really dumb on multiple levels. Not the message. Not the message. Own the mistake. Then I'll have some respect for you. Right? Say, hey, we made the wrong decision to hire so many people so quickly, and we're going to have to scale back. We've seen, Emily Choi was like, oh, we've weathered 4 storms, 4 crypto storms, and, we'll weather this one too. And I'm sitting back and I'm kind of going, okay, so then you should have seen this coming, right? Then you should have controlled your growth better. You should have controlled your growth better, but you didn't. This truly is a .com mistake, in my opinion, right? This is what happened in the .com area. Everybody wanted to grow. Yeah, no, you should have managed yourself. You're not an upstart. You're not a newbie. You're the country's largest centralized exchange, crypto exchange. So you're not new to this. You had 1,000 extra people that you could just cut like that. 18% of your workforce. Yeah, I would own the mistake. That's the better way of going about it, in my opinion. Own the mistake. Maintain the respect of your employees. Hey, we screwed up. We'll try to make it better going next time around, but we have to do this if we're going to weather this storm. Doesn't that sound a lot better? Anyway, let's take a look at the numbers because, there are a lot of things that are going up, a lot of things are going down. I said yesterday, we're going to see some things come back, right? We're going to see some things come down. Here's Tron, like I said, 9%. Look at this. Winners and losers are just about equal, right? Just about equal. Celsius Network up 43%. What? Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. Up 43%. So I mean that is nuts. Maybe it says that there was overselling or whatever have you. I still have no faith. But you're looking at Helium up 17%. If you've been paying attention to the rhythm, you could see who's going to take the biggest hit. And out of those that are taking the biggest hit, maybe they have the strongest chance of coming back. I heard the dumbest thing on CNBC this morning. Joe, I always forget his last name, but Joe, love the guy. But, this was the dumbest thing to say. He said, what do I care if, some crypto is up 5%, but they're only trading at a nickel. You know what I mean? Or up only a little bit of percentage points. And I sat there and I said, because it's more than a bank. It's more than the average person's bank is going to give them. That's why. Because banks don't give interest rates anymore. For the most part. The pittance that they do give, I count it as 0. So if you can say, your crypto is up 3%, that's better than your bank. That's why, Joe. That's why. All right. So you can see the winners and losers. You've got Gala over here up 9%, Phantom up 11%. You have some coins over here that are really, interesting that are making moves. Like I said, Helium at 17%. But let's take a look at the fear and greed index, which is now at 8 single digits. Holy shimoligans, right? But remember what I said about pent up energy? Remember what I said about that? Sooner or later, what comes down is gonna wind up bouncing up. Let's take a look at DeFi Llama. Yeah, $79.48 billion or $79.5 billion in total value locked. Not surprising that the number is dropping. I think with projects such, with all the plans that JP Morgan has, you'll wind up seeing numbers like this just skyrocket. JP Morgan's talking about in excess of, I think it winds up being $1 trillion that they're talking about with everything tokenized. So listen to my video yesterday. I got into it a little bit. That's a big deal, and that would drive TVL up. And you know what? When you have financial institutions doing DeFi business, however it winds up being defined, that's going to result in big moves, really big moves. I'm a little upset. Last night on Uniswap, the orange one is Ethereum. Last night on Uniswap, Ethereum hit below 950. I wish I was awake. I would have jumped right the heck in, because that's the number. Because I really do think that Ethereum is going to wind up going down some more. I think it is going to wind up going below 1,000 and staying below 1,000 for a little bit. So for me, it's just a matter of when. When is that going to happen? That's all I'm looking at is when. Bitcoin here, again, I'm keeping my bands here for a reason, so I can see for myself how long it takes for it to get back. And I think it's going to be a while before it does get back. But I want to see how long it takes before it gets back, right? Looking at the crypto space, Bitcoin, playing around at 21, 22,000 range. Ethereum playing around at the 1,200 range. I'm expecting some dips, but you had big movers. If you got in yesterday to DCA and buy on the dip, you're up with, Cardano. You're up with Doge. Look at all these puppies that you would have been up with. You would have been up, okay? Chainlink, up. Mana, up. Mana's Decentraland, up. All right? So if you just want to look at it on a list, here you go. So these two took another hit. Almost 9.5% on Bitcoin, Ethereum 6.5% just about. When you look at these numbers and you look at Cardano up 5%, Solana up 3%, Avalanche up 7%, 7.5%, Shiba Inu up 4%. Look at that, but Shiba Inu added a 0. When the opposite direction added a 0, they're all the way down at 8.068. I'm hoping it survives. I'm hoping it demonstrates some utility coming up. Maybe that's why they're holding back on some news. I think they're holding back on news. I really do think they're holding back on news. And I think it's one of the coins that's going to come back in a major fashion. Think about it. It's in the top 25 coins. I don't just write off a coin that's sitting up there in the top 25. Okay? So pay attention to that. Polygon. They just got support from Circle. Circle just announced that they're supporting Polygon in their space. So that's a big deal for them. But, do what I tell you to do in this case. Do your own research. Come to your own conclusions. Okay? I do my own research. I'm teaching my kids to do their own research. Had a conversation with my brother last night, and I'll actually end like this. The conversation with my brother last night was about teaching our kids about investment, right? That's something we don't do as, in a strong way. The rich do it, the wealthy do it. When their kids receive gifts, their gifts go into trust funds and things like that. We need to teach our kids that. Regular people need to start teaching their kids about investment at a far younger age. There are plenty of applications out there, just like this, just like Live Coinbase, Live Coin Watch, Coin Market Cap. They all have tools that can teach you, even Thinkorswim for stocks. They all have tools where you can teach your kids about finances without having to put in big money. Okay? Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Hope you have a great day. Do me a favor, if you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, definitely subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping a new video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.